that.
Did you guys see Spider-Man's fucking eyes?
How do they do that? How are you gonna
What
fucking...
the fuck?
There's no suit that squints
You
eyes.
seriously want to talk about Spider-Man's eyes?
What happened?
Um,
No.
You seriously want to talk about Spider-Man's eyes?
I don't.
I think let's talk about Spider-Man's eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Fuck
okay.
those eyes.
Well, now that we're doing it.
Personally, look,
Let's get
I
ready.
don't... All right, let me... First and foremost, and I want to make this crystal clear.
Yeah.
Listen up. If you hear nothing else about this conversation, listen to this. I don't really fucking care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Fuck yeah.
That being
Wow,
said...
Derek cares too much.
Stop caring.
I don't care, really. But that being said, I think it's dumb that Spider-Man's eyes move. I think that's stupid. His suit doesn't make sense to me that his eyes would move. Doesn't make sense. Now, I read a very long-winded explanation online
I've seen him. I said,
about how Peter Parker actually designed the suit to use like shutters, like camera shutters in layers on the eyes, so it's like an aperture closing. And if you listen closely, you can actually hear the mechanics working. And I just want to reiterate, I don't fucking care. I don't like it. But also, if you're in that boat of, no, it's cool because da-da-da-da-da, I just think, like, yeah, and why did Peter Parker do that?
Because he can zoom in.
Why was it so important that Peter Parker built
cool.
camera lenses in his eyes so he could
Enemies, can I
smirk at
ask
people?
you, since you're feeling that way, can I
Yeah,
ask
go ahead.
you something?
What?
He's a man spider
Yeah.
that gets summoned by a man in a robot suit to steal a magic shield off a guy frozen in ice.
Yeah.
And the biggest complaint was about eyes that moved on a costume.
Yes.
Good point.
So I'm just curious where it stops and starts with what we believe and what we don't.
I'll tell you exactly why.
Yeah,
Good
I'll
point.
let him say, 'cause I actually
Good
do.
point.
I actually do agree
Good
with
point.
Derek on
You
this.
snarky fucker.
Fucker.
Whoa.
Not trying to be snarky, just
No, it's okay.
No, I'll tell you.
All right.
I'll tell you. And
The audio sucks because of you.
it's actually what I was just saying a moment
It's what he
ago.
was just saying and stay home tomorrow. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. You can explain cool stuff if it improves the story, but when you start going down this path of explaining irrelevant shit, the story doesn't hinge on whether Peter Parker can squint his eyes or not. So to develop a whole backstory as to why he can squint his eyes is really moving away from anything that fucking matters at all in this movie. That's why.
Then why have a complaint? Then why have a complaint about it moving or not moving if it's not contingent on the story? I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm curious where it stops and starts, where people's complaints begin and end.
I'm saying, it's because people have an experience with Spider-Man that goes back to the 60s, and people are already familiar with Spider-Man, and when you start changing stuff, people get upset.
But you're not changing anything. His eyes moved in the comics.
Okay, then I'm not changing anything. Sorry. Then I'm wrong, Eric. I just want to say I was wrong, and Eric shut me down.
No, I'm just curious. I'm not trying to be contentious. I'm just curious.
Eric,
because
devil's advocate question for you.
There's just like a lot of...
Because I don't know shit, okay, about Spider-Man especially. I don't know anything. But his eyes moved in the comics, but was it some technical aperture thing that made them move?
Just the way
or was this the way they drew it?
Explanation.
No, it was just they
Yeah.
were drawn big.
You
and then
can
drawn
show
short.
emotion when Peter's got
Sure.
the costume on
Now-
by him squinting his eyes and stuff, so
Right.
they would illustrate it that way.
Right, which makes... So, I feel
Which
like...
now that his suit does that is throwing people off because
Right.
the other movies didn't do it.
Sure.
I think what you're saying though, Derek, is we had a discussion about things that are obviously
Relevant. To me, it's just a matter of relevance.
When you see it in the trailer, it's like, whoa, how's that possible? And the only answer is this giant comic book explanation that doesn't feel sincere or real. Not even real. Not that everything in a movie has to be real, but it doesn't feel like... I used the example when I was talking to Derek about, to me, the perfect example of movie kind of logic in action is Jurassic Park. None of Jurassic Park is remotely possible.
Right.
But man, every step of it feels so perfectly like... It feels like, okay, this is false, but I feel like I could do this. Like I see why I see how they're doing this with the blood from mosquitoes, and they're setting this up and they're doing that. It feels completely within this universe logical that they would do that. And I think having how is he controlling his eyes? Well, he developed a system to wink. I don't really understand why he spent all that. I don't really get why that's there.
It pulls you out.
It's not like you could give me the comic book explanation, but I'm just kind of like, he developed that for 6 months?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess it sticks out because
don't know.
masks don't do that. And then you explain why this mask
yeah.
does it, and it's like, well, now you've explained why this mask exists. Is this what the movie's about?
Doesn't really
Again.
bother me, but they could change. They've been known to change stuff from trailers to like a final film release.
No, I don't care if they change stuff.
I'm not gonna
I
see
don't
the
care
final
if they
film
change
anyways.
stuff. I don't care if they change stuff. It's just a matter of like that Jurassic Park example. Even if stuff doesn't exist in real life, it just needs to feel true and hit you in the gut. And
Yeah.
the squinting thing, it just rings false. It just people see that, and it kind of just in the back of their mind sets off this thing of like, well, that's not right. And then you get this whole explanation of like, no, it actually is right because, and it's like, well, I'm just gonna go with my gut.
Yeah. Again, don't care.
No, I do care now.
I don't care. I don't care.
I thought I liked the trailer. It almost didn't need that Spider-Man thing at the end. I think up until then, it was just like, hey, here's the new Superman jerk-off character.
Superman jerk off.
Extraordinaire, like, Marvel film you're going to get. All of them fighting, and boom, Captain America 3. I think, like, at the end, throwing the Spider-Man thing on, I get it why it made everyone go nuts, because we got Sony crossover now, and the squinting thing, though, yeah. Just,
I was gonna say though, that all aside that we talked about, I thought it looked great. I thought that costume was like, that looks like old Spider-Man. I thought that looked great.
He's a lot younger in some of the more recent comics,
Yeah.
and it seemed to have a really young voice in that trailer.
Yeah. When I saw the actor that they picked, I'm kind of like, man, they kind of just keep getting twerpier, huh? I was kind of surprised by that, but
But that's all right.
But, I don't know,
Parker
but
was
yeah,
always like a little nerdy science kid.
But I was just purely like how the costume looked in that shot. I thought was really cool. I thought it looked like the old. I feel like we're in a phase now of. I feel like we're in a phase now of it being acceptable. Like we went through a long cycle of. Oh, you're doing a movie of this character? All right, put him in black leather and armor. And you know what I mean? And I feel like we're just now getting out of it. Where now, okay, we have a new Batman. He's just in gray with the thing. Really? He's not in armor? He's just in gray and with the bat on. Wow, okay. And now we got Spider-Man and it's just a jumpsuit. There's no black rubber webbing, metallic eyes. It's like, yeah, we're kind of just, it's kind of, we're out of this like it's got to be dark phase, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, the X-Men
that we're beating
movies,
that.
I think the fucking leather X-Men costumes were so bad.
I just remember being in high school and seeing the first one, and them going, "What were you expecting? Yellow spandex?" And I remember sitting there thinking, "You should have committed." Yeah,
But in first class, you kind of got that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was a little better. It was a little more familiar to source material, but it was still like. I didn't really like it.
Yeah.
I for what it's worth, all the Avengers and all the movie spin-offs from that series, their costumes I've always been like Thor's costume is
they all look pretty good.
Exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, they're not again. I think that was the one of the first feet out of the black leather zone.
Yes.
And I remember even when Batman Begins came out. I mean, I loved all those Nolan Batman movies.
Yeah.
But even when Batman Begins came out, I remember him having the armor thinking the rest of this movie was so sincere and like kind of like, what am I trying to say? It was all very homegrown how he created Batman and all this stuff. So when he was all like finally armored up in the suit, I remember thinking kind of like, that's kind of like old Batman. You know what I mean? Like that, like we're still in the Michael Keaton gotta have armor era. Yeah. And even then I was kind of thinking like, it would have been kind of cool if they maybe just kind of simplified that. It wasn't armor. And I like that we're getting out of that now. Now again, some people are pointing it out. It's true. Batman versus Superman still looks like it's trying way too hard with the dark kind of whatever thing. But I'm saying we're kind of walking out of it. Like we're not there necessarily, but again, that Batman is different. You know what I'm saying.
Soon we'll be getting like Flash Gordon revival. Really colorful.
Let me tell you though, as someone who doesn't follow the movies, I see people on Facebook, whatever. Mm-hmm. People are very excited.
They are very
Which
excited.
I kind of am jealous of. Like, I'm not excited at all. But people being excited for the new Civil War or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Or Suicide
Squad or
whatever,
whatever. People are so excited. It's like, man, I don't feel that excitement. I'm like, I'm almost jealous. Like, that would be cool to be not excited about something, but whatever. But I have no idea what the fuck is going on anymore. Like, all I'm absorbing is these trailers that are pushed in my face. And at this point, things are so fucking crazy. Like, man, I jumped off this train a long time ago. I don't know where we are anymore. I don't know what the hell is happening.
Serious business.
It's very serious, and I don't get any of it. But
There's
that's
so much
fine.
money behind it. It makes.
I
so
don't
much
know if
money.
that's true, actually.
When I was just gonna
Dude,
say when I say
really?
when I what? No, what's
I don't know if there's a lot of money in these movies.
when I say Batman doesn't have armor anymore, I don't mean literally that he doesn't have armor. I mean just the molded,
we know.
molded black whatever.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, some people didn't.
Oh, well,
Anyway.
well, fuck them.
Yeah, they don't deserve.
Crack a
it.
book.
Doesn't the
Crack
trailer
a
look
fucking comic book.
the Captain America trailer?
Yeah.
Does it look weird to anyone else that it's just 10 people fighting in an airport?
Yeah, like
Yeah, I was gonna say bad flight.
they shut down that whole.
You took the last peanuts.
runway.
Yeah, really. There's someone on the tarmac going, "Fuck, I gotta make it Seattle." Fuck. No. Civil War.
Right.
You know
Here,
what would
we
be
gotta have
great
Civil War?
if somebody started
Sprite,
making
please.
Marvel movies that totally left the comics. Like, hey, new movie. It's about a guy who invents a gun that could kill superheroes. And then it's just like one dude shooting superheroes with a gun. That's
pistol.
a movie I'd see. One pistol.
It's funny because
Call it American Sniper.
Lord of the Pistol. Or you can call it American Sniper.
that was kind of an episode of South Park. Wasn't there something where they got rid of? Man, maybe I'm remembering this wrong. An alien came. Everyone got rid of their guns. So
Oh,
then
yeah.
An alien showed up with a pistol, and they were like,
They
no
did that
one,
on The
no one could
Simpsons,
do
too.
anything. And then, yes, Matt Stone and Trey Parker said, we finished the episode, and then someone went, oh, Simpsons did that. And it was like, you fucking kidding me?
Oh, well, that started becoming a thing in South Park.
Oh, absolutely.
there
Yeah.
was an episode
And it happened
where,
again. It happened again, and Trey Parker was like, you're fucking with me. Don't do that joke around me. No, it's not a joke. They really did this. It's like,
They've
oh my
done it
God.
all.
Oh my God. And he's like, and I thought about ending the show. Anyway. But yeah. So do that.
Anyways.
Damn.
Well, you know what? The Simpsons just ripped off the Flintstones, so...
Flintstones did it.
Flintstones
I'm gonna
did
start
it.
saying that. Flintstones did it.